My name is Terri Donovan. I'm a second year actor at the Lear Academy and I'm from Stockport, which is in the UK. My sign name is this, and a little audio description of myself for visually impaired people is I am a white person with short brown hair in a ponytail. I'm wearing a white striped shirt and some very colourful dungarees. So I was applying to drama school for 5 years before I was lucky enough to get into the Lear. And I think the main reason why I applied to the Lear was because of Brexit, which sounds kind of silly, but I'd always wanted to study in Europe, and with Brexit looming ahead, I thought, right, this is my last chance. So I thought, right, I'll apply to the Lear. But I think the main reason why I ended up choosing the Lear was because, so in the audition, you in your second round you have a workshop, a Shakespeare workshop with Hilary Wood, who is the head of acting at the Lear. And in this workshop she would kind of get people up and get them to work on their speeches, and I was lucky enough to sit by her and kind of watch these people, and the way she worked, I just knew that I needed to have her as a teacher. I had worked previously in various different acting jobs quite by accident, and I had trained on a foundation course. I also trained on the Grey Eye Ensembles training programme for disabled people, but I knew that I really needed the training. Even after doing these jobs, I felt like there was something that I needed to work on in myself. And so when it came to me coming to the profession properly, I could really deliver what I wanted to deliver. I mean, the particular challenges of being a disabled person in drama school, I think everyone who is disabled or who is neurodivergent, who has a chronic illness like me, will know that it can really differ on a day-to-day basis. I mean, sometimes on the worst days, it can feel almost impossible to get out of bed. But I think what the Lear really has is it's institutionally, it's so kind, which I don't think you can look down upon from an institution. And even the teachers who I have the privilege of being trained by, they are really generous with how they give us the information that they've learned after so many years. And like in particular, for example, you have Sue Myvan, who is the head of movement, and she always says that don't go over the red line, Terry, like you need to like look after yourself. And she can kind of see through your soul in a way. She can kind of look at you and go, no, you've gone too far today in terms of what you can manage with your pain. Or even with like the voice exercises that we have to do in our voice classes, Cathal is really generous in the fact that he kind of lets me change the exercise slightly so it can really suit my body and that I can really access it in a way that I can feel like I am getting the best out of this lesson. So the training has been particularly affected by this pandemic, in a way that means I've been able to come home to Stockport, been able to get on a bike and smash my teeth in, which was not smart, but might be an insight into the dyspraxic life that I have. But it has meant that we have been able to really explore what it means to kind of perform on programs like Zoom. So for example, us second years, we just did our Irish Rep project. Our class did A Shadow of a Gunman, and I was lucky enough to play Mrs. Henderson, and we were directed by the brilliant Conor Morrison, and we were really able to explore the language that OKC kind of delves into, and we were able to really get our teeth into it, which we would have been able to do in a live theatre situation, but in being narrowed down into this kind of framework, we were really able to get the nooks and crannies of how that language is used in his beautiful, beautiful text. So yes, that was very exciting. And we're about to go into full-time classes at the Lair, so it's going to be really intriguing to see how those different classes are explored online. But so far it's going pretty well, which is pretty exciting. I think what I'd really challenge the Irish industry to look at is, in particular, for casting directors, for producers, to really look at the disabled talent, the deaf and disabled talent out there. I mean, there's so much of it. There's so much potential to explore. And I think what really needs to happen is for these gatekeepers of the industry to kind of take an active approach into finding this deaf and disabled talent and really nurture it and kind of be able to place them in the roles that they deserve to be in. I mean, it is fantastic that shows like Things I Don't Know About Autism was on at the Abbey recently, and that is brilliant. The fact that that was written by an autistic woman and was portrayed by autistic people on a main national stage, that is brilliant, and I'm so supportive of that. And more shows like that should be done. There's so much potential in what we can do as deaf and disabled performers. And even so for example, I audio describe myself at the beginning of this, and we can incorporate audio description and captioning in a really creative way into your work from the start of a process. So getting writers, getting deaf and disabled writers and producers and directors, and really getting them from a start of a process and kind of working their way towards making really beautiful, brilliant, fantastically observed work. That is something I would really love to see more of in the Irish industry. Thank you so much.